Quick disclaimer for this episode you're about to listen to. There are mentions of child kidnappings, stalking, and clowns. Stay safe and enjoy the episode.
As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night, werewolves that howl to the moon, dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello, one and all. Welcome back to another episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about their lore, talk about their media representation, and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you, yes, you listening, maybe scrolling the internet, getting into the deep, dark reaches of the internet, whether or not you should be having sex with those monsters. I am your colorful creature consultant cleric, and with me, as always, is the wonderful technical analyst, Joe.
I hate you.
I don't know why. I've done nothing wrong. I've just been suffering. I've just been.
You screamed into the mic.
I don't scream
earlier.
into the mic. I don't do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So how about we check ourselves?
Where we Shrek.
Before we Shrek ourselves. We have to talk about Shrek on the show eventually, but we'll get there.
No.
Someone's going to talk about Shrek. It's whether going to be me, it's whether it be Kes. You know what? That's something Kes would do. Kes would be like, I have a secret pick for you. And it's Shrek.
Kes is like, I'm going to fuck this scarecrow.
That's
what Kes sounds like.
A pile of hay. Actually, no, you got to make it a little bit more British. You got to be like, a pile of hay, boy. Put it in the boner, boy. Like that.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
My perfect British impression aside, Joe, what do you feel like talking about today? I think we should take a break from our usual theme.
I feel like going back into memory lane of nostalgic moments where I would be on Skype for over 24 hours with my friends when I was 13 years old, and we would read stories to each other, but specifically stories that made us a little scared.
That is such a specific memory.
I'm talking SCP.
Worried.
I'm talking Something Awful forums. I'm talking general. I think like fandom Wikipedias that had scary Italian recipes.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Speaking of scary Italians, I think we have someone to introduce today.
That's what you want to segue. That's your fucking segue for this. Oh my, no, I'm always gonna do this whole thing where I sent email. No. All right, fuck it. That's the fucking segue this week. That's the intro. Fucking like what? I mean, introduce yourself. You've done this. This is it. Hands up. Do it. My fucking hands are up.
It's me. Hi, I'm Z or Zach. I'm not Italian, I don't think. Anything is possible. I had a dream that I had a really long arm and I delivered a package to the Philippines directly. And that was honestly not that long ago. I just woke up. So here I am.
Hell yeah. Amazing. Did anybody else have a dream?
No. We're not. I have acid reflux. That's what I have.
I had a dream that I lost my gum because I had fallen asleep with gum in my mouth, and I woke up this morning and it was true.
That's so creepy.
I'm moving on. Joe, I understand why you want to talk about creepypastas, and creepypasta friend Zach, who also really wants to talk about creepypastas. But that's why I want to ask you both, Zach first, because they're the guests, Joe, so watch your fucking mouth.
Okay.
Zach, why do you want to, why does it attracts you to creepypastas?
That's a good question. I also was in these Skype calls, 24 hours, and longer even. I destroyed.
What the fuck were y'all doing for 24 hours? That's sorry. That's another topic. We live different lives.
Being codependent on other middle schoolers.
Yeah, pretty much. And vibing, which is the same thing.
Reading Homestuck.
I didn't read Homestuck. Are there Homestuck creepypastas? I don't know. I think I like how these stories reach out to us in the real world. There's something that you believe is real, especially when you're 14 and like an idiot. So like there's something so visceral about experiencing them. And also now that we're adults and we can viscerally experience them, I think that there's something very deeply sexual. Maybe most creepypasta.
You know what? That's the show, baby. That's the show. That's actually super. I like that kind of take of like taking something from the younger and like viewing it in a new light. Always something I like to do with. I think we like to do with the show, so that's very fun. So I will let you all know, as I think I've also revealed a bit. I live a different life than y'all. I was never into creepypastas. I still am not. I'll be real. I was doing research for this episode, and I was just like, these all suck. So I'm also a bitch with horror. So. It's very much like it's like I'm reading this with like one eye open. I'm like so I'm interested to talk about this to get a different perspective of two people who are into this into the whole thing and how we psychosexualize our fears here. Because I've brought I've brought creepypasta that I think is a-okay. Joe has brought one and Zach has brought one to the table, and so we're gonna see which creepypasta is now in 2023 the sexiest one to be.
I'm not here thinking that any of these stories are good necessarily. It's just that they're iconic.
Yeah, iconic doesn't always mean good, but hey, sometimes you gotta fuck the icon, you know what I'm saying? So if we are ready to go, dive into
Can I go first?
No, but okay, you can go first.
So speaking of like how these stories go into even the real world, well, we're going to talk about a classic first, and that's Slenderman.
Right.
The Slenderman arose in the forums of Something Awful by Eric Knudsen in 2009. A completely white, hairless, and faceless man with arms and legs long and slender, wearing a black three-piece suit. Inspired by the creations of H.P. Lovecraft and DC Comics hero The Question, Slenderman gained its popularity in the 2010s as a kidnapping, tentacle-armed stalker, using sensory tricks, entering your periphery through shadows and pictures. The Slenderman will always be known as a cultural marvel of horror that spread panic far and wide.
Joe, can I confide something into you?
Into me?
Here? Joe, can I confide something to you?
Okay.
This just sounds like thinner Mr. Clean, and I'm not really seeing an issue here.
I mean, other than the kidnapping part, probably, but like exactly. Also, The Question. We've talked multiple times about The Question on the show, and you can see the inspiration there.
Yeah. And I mean,
so that's extra points for sure.
My counterpoint to that is Mr. Clean kidnaps germs. So, Zach, what's your opinions on Slenderman?
Yeah, did you have like a history? Because I like played the game that initially came out. Like I hadn't watched any of like the shows or movies, so I'm wondering if you were a Marble Hornets person.
I was a Marble Hornets person through and through. I don't think at the time that it was coming out, I didn't follow it as it was being released, but I binge watched the whole thing on my friend's couch in high school, and it's so good. It's like a really weirdly well-made series, except for the acting, which is not good.
Yeah. So, Cleric, Marble Hornets was a YouTube ARG about Slenderman, basically.
Okay. And what's an ARG for those who don't know, which is me?
An alternate reality game, also sort of was it kind of a choose your own adventure? I'm not sure.
It wasn't. It was just I guess ARG is the best way to put it. It's like a creepypasta video, like it's meant to be real.
Oh, kind of like the Welcome Home thing that's been going on recently.
I don't know what that is.
It's with the puppet. It's a new one with like it's puppets and another question. Another time. But I do remember playing the game, the Slenderman game, which was a creepy one, and that was always just like ooh. You had to like collect parchments. You had to leave. You had to like run away.
Yeah,
from
them. The journal entries, that's also an incredibly iconic, even in the as Eric Knudsen, who went by Victor Sage or Surge or something, which is The Question's name, even said that like the original sort of texts about Slenderman were all in like journal entries. So all very iconic, all very reaching back into like kind of, I don't know. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with creepypastas, and all of the things, all of the beats really worked out. And it's reminding me of Poppy's Playtime. Like there's just something about like tall, fucking horrible, long-armed creatures that suck.
You could just make fun of 6-foot people all you want. You don't have to do it in the other guys or something else.
6-foot people don't have arms down to their fucking legs.
I don't know. Some people don't. I don't look at tall people. So let me ask this question: what does Slenderman even have a personality? Is that something that Slenderman has?
So not really. Most of the depictions imply or indicate that he does love to psychologically torture his victims, because he does a lot of like playing around in terms of like showing up in people's childhood pictures, or apparently in like fossil drawings or like cave drawings. I mean, he feeds off of the morbid curiosity of like young people.
Okay, so he's a gaslighter. I
guess so, yeah. And we reviewed many of Gaslighter on the show.
And yet they do well sometimes. I'm trying to think of like what personality or something I would do for Zach. Oh, not Zach. What's your personality?
This is
Zach?
For you.
This is for you specifically.
Let's talk about me.
Actually, that's what the show is about. Turn around. You're the creepypasta. No, but I'm trying to think of like a personality or like how I would describe Slenderman if like you were to encounter him. Like this is somebody who is like, I don't know. This is like the creepy dude at the bar and is kind of just like staring at you a bit.
I would go even further to say he's a very shy guy. You know how he like makes cameras all staticky when you look at him in Slender and stuff. So he doesn't really like to be recorded, and that's valid.
Me neither.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
it's my worst fear.
All right, if we're going with a more positive light, then maybe this is like the shy wallflower guy who, like, you see him in the bar or at a party and he's like against the wall. I mean, you already see him because his head is touching the ceiling, and you kind of just like
Napoleon Dynamite kind of bodied, kind of character.
And so you walk up to him and it's like, hey, and you immediately like it's like shies away, but you're like, no, like it's fine. Like I also don't want to be around anybody right now. Oh, okay, cool. So then you gotta just like silently kind of stand next to each other, but it's like a comfortable kind of like two people just like being well in each other's company, not needing to talk. And then like you do a little, maybe you exchange like 1 or 2 words, or they do it first or something. Like, I'm actually really into photography, and they're like, I like to be behind the camera. I journal.
I love to journal.
Yeah.
Journal.
And then you start talking about that.
Alternatively, which has been a hilarious finding of mine, are like there were a lot of NSFW ASMR of Slenderman as these like stories were like coming up, and there became more and more creepypastas. There was one that was like, I don't know, Slenderman goes to your house and like anally destroys you or something. And you know, there can be shy guys and there can also be Slenderman
sometimes
destroyers, anal destroyers.
The quietest people are the freakiest, you know?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
He's got tentacles for days, so you know he's fucking he's redoing some hentai with you.
Quick question. What does Slenderman sound like? Did you
a really deep distorted voice, apparently.
So that's hot.
It's not bad.
That's, that does rank up there. I'll be real. That is a higher ranking bar. So we got this shy, deep voiced person who, once you open up, is gonna fucking anally destroy you.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, like you try to introduce them, people say, "Hey, this is my friend, partner, whatever, Slenderman," and you kind of turn
and
around.
They scream, and they're like, "He's so white."
Yeah. Like you're,
and that's the only problem.
It's the only issue. Not they're 8 foot tall, have tentacles, and
taller.
Taller? Damn. That's the only issue though. But no, then you introduce it like, oh no, I really don't want to meet your friends. It's like, or it's just all the way. It's like that awkward when you introduce somebody to your friends and they like just don't talk the entire time. You have to be like, hey, like, do you want to jump them? It's like, no, I'm good. Actually, I'll just keep sitting here. It's like, okay, then why'd we come? There's that, or there's the opposite. Like I said, there's that character, which is fine. I think that's actually like that actually work or something, especially if he's like a dominant person in the bedroom when you meet it, like when you finally do it. And the other portion that might be bad is have you? I recently saw the show. That's why it's in my mind. Have y'all ever seen The Misfits?
The English TV show?
Yeah, the British one
With the superheroes? Yes.
Yes. Simon.
Yeah.
So for those of you who may not have seen the show, or those of you who aren't British, which please, thank you. There's Joe said, there's these characters. They're all delinquents, or they end up at correctionals doing like community service. There's a storm that comes, and it gives people abilities, and these abilities are usually based on their insecurities. Simon is played by, if you ever seen Game of Thrones, Ramsay Bolton, and so. Yeah. He's played by that guy, and he plays a creepy weirdo so well. So what Simon does is he gets the power to be invisible, but only invisible. He only turns invisible when no one's watching him. And so he can turn invisible, be anywhere around, because he feels like even when he's with people, he's always invisible. The reason I bring this up is that Simon is also a fucking weirdo and deserves not to be looked at.
Oh my God.
Motherfucker will like film people weirdly. He'll go into their homes. He like creeps on people in the shower. And that's kind of what why I bring all this up, and I'm sorry to bring it it brings up because that could also be what Slenderman is. Slenderman's like that creepy dude who, like, you're like, I don't.
No matter. Yeah.
Or like I don't want to bring you around anywhere, or I don't want you, like, when he shows up to a party that he's clearly not invited to, everyone's like, why? How did he find out about that? How did he find out about this kind of thing?
He wants to be involved. He is he listens very well. He remembers things about you. He'll always remember a birthday or anniversary. And no matter what we say, he is actually just worse.
Yeah.
But I'd love to bring a point that maybe will bring us to our first rating. Is that okay with you, Claire? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So for possibility as a rating through a scale of 10, tries to encompass physiology, location, just like a general average of those things. There has been in all technicality, but as far as like a genital situation, no clue what's going on.
Tentacle, easy. The easy solution is is they have tentacles and can like. I've seen enough hentai to know what that shit's gonna do.
Yeah, pretty much. And location wise, Slenderman goes to you. Slenderman's your childhood friend. That
I'm sorry, no.
Remembers.
He's my childhood friend?
He's yours
specifically.
This episode's all about Zach.
It's
That's the title of this episode, Zach's episode.
Yeah.
Zach Pasta.
And he wants to, hey Zach, Slenderman wants to take you out on like hikes at night, very romantic, and
creepy.
Maybe go tree climbing.
Creepy.
At night. And
anything at night.
You could have like you could have a cute moment of like, oh no, we're falling out of the tree, and you get impaled.
Why would you want to fall out of
a tree? Like, what? You know,
what?
No, I get it. It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's so cute.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean? I'm moving on. I'm moving on with my life. Yeah. Keep going.
I think that gives Slenderman an 8 for possibility. In all intents and purposes, he's a man, or like has the body, like he has a 3-piece suit for some reason. That was an important. Slenderman is a Western creation, so we at least very much know. Got arms.
Oh, okay. Most things have arms. If I'm being very frank here, what do you mean? No,
it's not true.
Name one example of something without arms.
So I'm choosing 8. So how are y'all feeling?
This is out of 10, right?
Yes,
out of 10.
I'm giving Slendy a 9.
Okay.
He's so easy to get the attention of. You just go to the woods, which is right there for me.
Yeah, literally.
And there's gonna be a paper. You grab it, and he's like, "What's happening here?"
He writes little cute notes in your journal, like as you pass the cafe.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to possibility specifically, I do think this is more possible than other things. He does come to you. He is a weirdo. He is he's around. He fucking talks, and it is possible to fuck him because he has the tentacles. For him to fuck you, because this is clearly a top. If you are a top and trying to top him, ain't happening. He's He's the dom here. I will also echo an 8. I will give this an 8.
This is working out in my favor.
It's not. We're getting to other points here.
The next rating is attractiveness, which is pretty self-explanatory.
Yes.
Through a scale of 10, and I've already mentioned the question. We all have. Zach has a crush on the question. We all know like faceless, masked sort of creatures and guys.
I want to say Zach has not
something.
said they had a crush on the question. I want to make that very clear here to everyone. This has not been established.
No, Zach does.
I do have a crush on the question, and one time even Renee Montoya took over as the question, and she had her abs out, and that was really cool. I
do know exactly that scene, and you're very correct. Give Renee her girlfriend back and make her the question, please.
So we have all these things kind of working out for us.
So let's talk about
considering people.
No. Let's talk about what's working against them before you keep going here.
Okay, sure. Sometimes he has a mouth.
Yeah, sometimes he has a mouth. He's sadistic, psychologically gaslighting you. The tentacles, which have just
the
people may or may not be into that.
People are attracted to personalities. That's true. That's fair.
Why was that so fucking condescending?
Because I forgot that we also considered that.
He is a fucking weirdo in the woods. He's like 9'20". He's like 10 feet tall.
Right.
Like hands are probably cold and clammy. And in all intents and purposes, this person's white. So factor that into everything you're thinking about. So actually, with both those points, I want to do this. With both those points, Joe's positives and my objectives of Zach, what score do you want to give attractiveness with those things considered there?
There's a tie-breaking question here that I need to pose. Is it attractive or unattractive that he's always wearing the suit?
Attractive.
Oh, yeah. A form-fitting, well-suited. That's been well-tailored for at least 20 years.
Oh, actually, maybe not. Okay, so the suit is hot itself, but unless it's kept clean supernaturally, and you've established that he's not Mr. Clean, so he cannot do that.
That isn't just because someone isn't Mr. Clean doesn't make them not just
I don't know what
be able to clean
does.
themselves.
We don't. There's no lore that says he does clean himself, so we can say that he's just wearing a dirty suit all the time. Maybe the suit's black because he doesn't clean it. So just
because I say that I didn't specifically tell you every time I take a shower per day, you just think I'm dirt, nasty, disgusting?
You, Joe, specifically? Yes.
Okay.
Me personally, I wait till Mr. Clean comes to my door and scrubs me. I do not let myself do it without him there.
You need to be sponge bathed by Mr. Clean.
By Mr. Clean.
I understand.
Hands, yeah.
His magic eraser just slowly.
Right on my ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Right in between the cheeks, it's just Mr. Clean.
I will say Slenderman has the Queen Tyranny thing kind of going for him. His design could be a little cooler. There's something very sleek about the design. But I'm a very shallow person, apparently. And the clothes that people wears means a lot to me. Sorry, poor people.
What?
So I think
you know what? No. We gotta get Zach first.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6 because I think the suit thing. You're right. It's probably not clean, and it's probably getting a little old too. Yeah. Like oh, okay, he's wearing the suit again. Mm-hmm. Like it's cringe.
Yeah, because it's a novelty
suit
when they show up on a first
dinner?
date. Like with that, it's like, oh, you're wearing a suit. You really think I'm fancy? But then like, hey, we're going to Dave & Buster's, man. You don't have to dress like that.
But what if you're like a historical like period dresser? You know
what?
Like those 1950s like people who just live everything in the 1950s. They have old phones, and like, old suits.
They go out like in public with like petticoats and shit, and like.
Those are losers.
I'm not into that kind of white guy.
That's fair.
I think it's cool when people who aren't white do it.
Absolutely.
There's like one white guy who I think is cool who does it.
Slenderman.
Mr. Clean.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Clean.
I'm gonna say 7.5.
Okay. I will actually go lower than we'll do this in increments of 1.5 apparently because I'm going to go 4.5. I don't think this man is that hot. I think the tallness and like the tentacles make him attractive, but his personality and him being a little weirdo And like I just can't get past him being Simon from Misfits. Like that's the headcanon now, and I just can't get past it.
Yeah.
So,
But the thing with Simon is that he comes back from the future and is actually really hot and competent.
I only saw season 1.
Okay, so okay.
Because all the main characters leave, so I was like, what's the point of me watching this still?
Okay, that's fair. Our next one is Audacity, which is scaled sort of in reverse. So the lower the scale on Audacity is, the more audacious, and the higher, the less audacious. Obviously, Slenderman is pretty audacious to just kind of like it's one thing if you kind of end up in his like line of sight or like his, whatever, but like there's obviously plenty of like the Marble Hornets, quote unquote, people, or like Blair Witch kind of projects. Those people are audacious as shit, going out there on purpose, actively seeking out these instances. Could not be me. I'm easily scared by everything. So that being said, it's a 2.
Here is where we differ, because there's a factor that you brought up that I think about, which is he comes to you. So that lowers a little bit of Audacity because he's going to try and find you. Because there's sometimes Audacity is like, we got to go to where he's at, but he will find you. Everything else about him is audacious, which is why I will do a 3.
But I'm 3. I think there's something to speak to about like, do you run from Slenderman, which, ultimately it's too late at that point, or do you, turn to him with open arms?
No.
Right. So there's a level in your own fucking mind there that it puts into question flight or fight, or apparently run straight towards. So you said 3, I said 2.
I'm also going to say 3.
Okay.
I think I'm personally very afraid of him, and if I were to make the choice to sort of seduce him, give him that sloppy, I think it would be a very courageous move on my part. I know this, I'm talking about it like it's just me, and this is all about me, but
it is all about you.
Zach's episode.
I'm just thinking how out of character would it be for me to do that? And I think very. So I think 3, maybe 2, maybe 2.5.
2.5.
It's lower. The lower is the more audacious, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the lower.
2.5.
So then we got
Beautiful.
one last category.
And the suit thing may help out in this regard. Our last rating out of 10 is parental acceptance. Would our Christian immigrant parents accept if we brought Slenderman to their doorstep?
No.
Hey, suit and tie every day.
Well,
tall white man.
Yep, there it is. Creepy distorted voice. He doesn't have a face.
No, that's true. No face. Sometimes mouth, but it's kind of like an inky, weird teeth situation.
Yeah, no eyes.
No
very
eyes.
Tall. Will not be able to fit into the apartment. My family is full of short kings, so not too
Especially
sure.
your mom.
Yeah, mom's a short king 100%. I'm the tallest one in my family. I'm 5'6". I am going to go with a 3. No, even a 2. I think I'll do it to a 2.5. We'll do that.
Gaslighters have chances in my house. It's a 6.
I think an 8. I think an 8 for me. He looks like he has a job.
And that's,
And
you know what?
That's
Sometimes
enough.
for parents, yeah.
Okay. All right. You know what?
We do this. So.
What's your job? What's your job, Slenderman? Hiking in the woods. With a suit on? Wow. Park rangers are real odd here. That's. I feel like that's how the conversation goes.
Oh, government job. Nice.
Well,
All right.
we've collected all the numbers. It's time for us to dive into some journal collecting and see where Slenderman ranks up.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody that's been supporting us on Ko-fi. That's Gwendolyn, Amelia G, Chris Chan J, Daydori, and Akima. The outtakes and scores to this episode should be available by the time you're listening to this. So if you want to listen to those or check out how the monsters for this episode rated, you can go to our Ko-fi and check those out. That's at kofi.com/monsterloverpod. Or if you want to find the link to that, go to our Twitter @monsterloverpod. If you want to support us but don't want to spend the money, that's totally fine. You can rate us on Spotify or leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I've heard it helps new people find the show, but honestly, it just feels good to know how much you like the show. That's all from me. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the episode.
So, Joe, what are the scores?
So the scores are, the votes are in. For Cleric, Slenderman got a 4.5.
Fair.
I got a 5.9, and Zach with a 6.4, a very generous score for our Slenderman, which gives Slenderman a 5.6.
Okay, middle of the road. We'll take it. If that's the case, Zach, you see how the show works.
It's 0.6 points above the road.
What the fuck do you want, huh?
Bitch.
What the fuck do you want? It's still into the 5 range.
Yeah, you're right.
So how about we shut the fuck up and learn averages, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Says the dyslexic person.
I'm not dyslexic. What? Stop giving me disabilities. You keep doing this. You just name dropping. You have this. You have this. Thank you, DMS5 Joe.
DMS?
DSM.
Zach, what did you bring to the table? It's your turn now.
Hi, I have a very special gift for you all. And my creepypasta, my fuckable creepypasta today is Sonic.exe.
He was going to get here eventually, folks, in one way or another. Sonic's made his way to the show.
With pitch black eyes and red pupils, jagged teeth, and a blue 16-bit body built for speed, Sonic.exe is a literal demon from hell, sporting the likeness of a familiar hedgehog. This sadistic god of terror and death, first documented by creepypasta wiki user JC the Hyena, enacts his evil intentions in and out of the game file he lives in.
Sonic, it's Sonic. We got Sonic. Sonic, it's Sonic. Sonic.
So I'm not actually I'm not familiar at all, I think, with Sonic.exe. Is it similar to a Ben Drowned situation?
Kind of, but it's not a game haunted by like a dead person. So the story goes, this guy Tom gets a game file from his friend. The friend's like, hey, destroy this CD. Ends up being that Sonic is in there, but he's bad now. And also he like manifests in the real world too. Like at the end of the story, a plushie that looks like Sonic.exe with the red eyes and everything appears on this guy's bed and it's talking to him. There's a follow-up story where it's revealed that he was actually put into these games by a death cult who summoned a demon into these games to spread his power across the world.
In a Sonic
I don't know
game?
if that's this.
That's honestly pretty ingenious. I have sent the entire list of powers that Sonic.exe apparently has. Why is it like over 20 or 30 things?
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
It's a lot. Yeah, some of these I don't even know what they mean, but like I don't know what esokinesis is. I do know black
You don't know what flight
creation.
is?
I don't know flight. I've heard of these things called birds.
Not real. We all know they work for the bourgeoisie. Shout out Kendall.
Esokinesis is the ability to manipulate reality.
Okay. That's pretty strong. He is terrifying. So he's not just a little ghost kid, you know. He's like
Right.
He's full on possibly God. I think he has a line in the game where he's like, I am God, after he kills Dr. Eggman, where the person is playing as
Holy
Dr.
shit.
Eggman.
I like Eggman, damn.
Yeah, he fucking murks him. And Tails and Knuckles, too.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the game where that happens a little bit.
Is it a game?
I think somebody made a game for it.
They did.
So it like fits for it. You got to run away. Like they're all running away from Sonic.exe, and then he like corrupts your computer, kind of shit. Dark
2 days
matter
ago,
manipulation. Jesus. Yeah.
2 days ago, someone commented on Sonic.exe's fandom wiki article. Somehow he needs to be dealt with, but how?
How? What can we do?
What year was Sonic.exe created?
Sonic.exe is pretty old. This is a classic creepypasta, but I think it was one of the first ones to like kind of suck. It has all the tropes that like later on they're like, what if a beloved childhood franchise character was evil?
He was created on June 23rd, 1991. Is that
damn?
I think
old.
that's
Is that
in the lore.
in the story? Okay, I was
think
gonna
that's
say.
in the lore.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to find like when it was created. Maybe because I didn't look hard enough.
No.
Oh,
you're so
2011.
good.
2011.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so here's a lot of things that I'm thinking about at the moment with Sonic. One is, again, someone was going to bring Sonic to the show eventually. Two is that I'm not sure where the personality comes, because all we know is that Sonic's evil, a murderer, is possessed by a demon, and a death cult, and just wants
He's-
to kill things.
Highly intelligent. He steals souls. It's not a personality trait, but you know.
This is our girl boss of the episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Gaslighter, girl boss.
Yeah. He is known for taunting. He, like, during the game, he talks to the player, like, talks to him with his name, like Tom. I think I wrote down in my notes here. There's a line where he goes, "Ready for round 2, Tom?" And that is terrifying. It's also sexy.
Okay.
Oh my god, you know my name?
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm ready for round 2.
A marathoner.
There's a lot of things to process here. I guess,
Like what?
First of all, that seems like Zach is just like, hey, if somebody says my name suddenly, okay, you're in my home, but you're saying me. Hi.
This podcast has been a blessing.
Hi, sir. So there's that portion there. But again, I'm not saying really, there's zero positives here. This is somebody you join a cult. Oh, you willingly, I want to make this very clear, you willingly join a cult, and they summon a demon in the body of a fucking plush or a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, and you just fuck that, I guess. And it like fucks you, fucks you.
I would do it. I would do it.
Sonic?
I think, because I think that's the real question at the heart of this. Would you fuck Sonic the Hedgehog?
Would you fuck,
or just demons in general?
Would you fucking mean Sonic the Hedgehog, who's like, I don't like chili dogs, but I'm trying to give my chili dog to you?
Okay, that's the problem, that he doesn't like chili dogs. But anything demon related, sign me up.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're all very much on the same page here. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, though, just possessed by a demon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're both saying, both of you.
Can I send you a Discord GIF of Sonic and Shadow kissing?
You send that to me all the time. Okay, don't sound like it's like this is the first time you've done this. Don't have when are we doing this?
Get me in on that. Thank you.
Just put it in the group chat.
There you go.
Just put it in the group chat for this one.
Sonic is passionately kissing Shadow. Initiating.
Well, okay, there's some history here that we can do. Sonic does kiss people and does kiss humans. Sonic
does kiss humans. He has a girlfriend.
Shout out Sonic.exe. And if we're going by general Sonic lore, that again, that shout out cultural osmosis for me to have this knowledge. Sonic's had several girlfriends and several partners.
I thought you were going to say Sonic's had sex.
He has. He's canonically had sex.
Yeah.
Does he have kids?
No. In the future sometimes, but no.
Oh, okay.
But Sonic fucks Amy. Sucks Sally, his chipmunk girlfriend. There's the human. I think he also has sex with Bonnie the rabbit, who's like half a cyborg. All this is in the Archie comics, for those of you who are wondering where I'm getting this from. And if I am wrong, I don't care. But he does have sex with people.
Yeah.
So maybe when he goes into his darker impulses, he's just more of a dom than he is than... If we're going to talk about any Sonic character, I wanted to talk about fucking Vector the Crocodile.
Not a creepypasta.
Okay, I know, but if we do a Sonic episode, I want to talk about fucking Vector the Crocodile.
Why would we do a Sonic episode?
I don't know. How did we get here, everybody? Let's not fucking pretend that we're not in fucking uncharted territory. The waters are fucking capsizing the boat. Let's just fucking dive deep and find Atlantis at this point. I don't know what the fuck you want from me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. Cool. Sure. So, Zach, did you have more thought?
Yeah, I think there's also, because he's like really evil, like really super evil. He wants to kill and hurt people. And and he's very personal about it, I would argue that there's a sort of a sadomasochist element to be considered here. I don't know what that is. I don't know how it would manifest, if it's healthy. Maybe it is if you have an agreement with him because he's a demon. You can like make agreements with demons.
Well, it depends, because if you said it was summoned by a death cult, did Sonic, when summoned, kill the death cult?
I don't think so.
Then
Maybe.
That's good.
For a demon that regularly says he's God, it's kind of iconic.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a lot to process in just generalized. I'm fucking losing my mind. So let's move a bit to the Popo scale. The reason I want to move a bit into it is because we got to talk. There's a lot of other factors we got to move into. Because right now, all we have is basically Lucifer Sonic.
Evil Jesus,
Sonic, who can literally warp reality.
Yes.
Warp your butthole in a different kind of way. And so we need to just get into how possible this is. Just off rip.
So part of the lore is that when you play the game, he's already obsessed with you. Like that's how you get him. And normally people aren't even sent or aren't even like seeking out this game. They are sent the game by other people.
Yeah.
So it might just happen. Like we may all be in the situation one day where we have to choose whether or not to fuck Sonic.exe.
Choose, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a regular decision that can pop up in any person's life.
You said something, and I was just like, "Damn, he's obsessed with me." Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
Obsessive.
Okay, I'm a little bit with that. So, you're already obsessed with me? Oh my god.
He has like a personal vendetta, kind of, just about you existing. Is that the case, or is it specifically Tom?
He just want like if you stumble into his territory, which is the game Sonic.exe, he wants to toy with you. He will put a lot of focus and attention on you.
Okay, he's an attentive lover.
When you're here, your family.
He will learn your name.
What? I'm sorry. Keep going, Zach. Keep going.
He will learn your name.
Yeah, he'll learn your name. He'll manifest in your bedroom. Should you go that far? You know.
Okay.
He'll destroy your computer.
Teleportation.
He can destroy something else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So okay. I'm going to let's wheel this back a bit for possibility. And I think we have to go with one, how prevalent CDs are nowadays, because he's on a fucking CD. So not many people still use that. A lot of games are online nowadays. So I mean, you can also download the game because he uploaded himself to the internet, in which case there's nothing we can do. He's all powerful.
Plenty of like CDs, like they still fucking exist.
Well, they still exist. So I'm just saying it's less
some people,
common.
Yeah, right. And some people still have little CD-ROM fucking whatever they're called in their tower or their monitors.
But it's still like, hey, it's a rarity now of people even exchanging discs for each other. And if he's only on like discs, then this does lower possibility. Because honestly, I'll be real right now. If we're going that he's uploaded to the internet, this is a 10 out of 10 for possibility.
Because he can come into your home.
Exactly.
I would venture a guess, like if a death cult can figure out how to open the gates to hell, they're likely gonna at least put him on Dropbox. Like they can figure that out.
Yeah.
Dropbox.
You don't want a Google Drive Sonic.
You don't want a Google Drive.
You know what? I'll attest to that lore. 10 out of 10 for possibility. He's showing up to your house, y'all. It's too late.
This podcast is a public service. Like we have to tell people how it will be because they will have to make the choice.
Yeah, they have to. Every single person.
The choice.
Zach, what are you doing for possibility?
I'm also going 10.
This is actually fucking wild.
Another little behind the scenes rule of MFA, at least between the hosts, is we only have 1 10 to give out. So. Zach, if you're willing to hold the hand of the devil and not walk backwards, are you strong enough?
I'm strong enough.
Okay, amazing.
Here's my 10.
I'm gonna go 9.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, some people live off the grid. You never know. So okay, attractiveness.
They're Amish.
The Amish are the only ones safe from Sonic, I guess.
Mm-hmm. This is where it gets tough because he's not very, I don't know.
Not tough for, there's certain people it's not tough for at all.
Yeah, I will say, we're like, what we're doing right now is we're tapping into a community that already exists, which is people who want to fuck Sonic.exe.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Sonic, because that's definitely a thing. We've all seen it. But like Sonic.exe, I think there's like a weird generation of people who like grew up with Sonic.exe and Five Nights at Freddy's. Not weird, this generation of people, but so there's a lot of NSFW art of these.
Oh yeah, totally.
Things.
So here's my point here, and here's my my point to this. Where again, this is a bad choice for everyone who's going to be listening. This is a bad choice, but here's what I want to be objective about. Because this is one time where I want to be objective because I think it's funnier to be that way. For all of you wondering, Cleric's backtracking. No, I think this is funny, so we're going with this. Sonic.exe is an evil Sonic, correct? Or a more edgier Sonic, one would say. Do you know who else is an edgy Sonic? Shadow. People want to fuck Shadow easy. So if that's the case, and we're doing this, it's like a little bit of a triangle here. If just Sonic.exe is the edgiest of all like these three, it goes like Sonic, Shadow, Sonic.exe, that means he's well on the way to get fucking like for bad boy fucking all that kind of stuff. So for people who are attracted to that kind of vibe, this is a high bar. And Sonic, we already know, is inherently sexy. Have you seen him making out with Shadow?
Yeah, I have now.
I'm gonna give this an 8. For me personally, a 6. For me personally, this is like a 4 or like a 2. But for comedy's sake, it's an 8. I got you. For a community, Sonic loving community, I got you.
No one wants you to represent them.
This is for the people.
I speak for the people. I'm the people's voice. I got you.
You never asked them what they wanted.
Representation without representation taxation without representation. That's what's happening right now. Shout out to the Brits.
Okay.
Don't worry, Kez. We won't be dumping any tea.
4.
Why 4?
I'm still willing. I will summon him, but that he's just like, he could be cuter. I don't know. He could like put some pants on, little overalls, and then like that'd be like a 6. Overalls on anyone, 2 points more.
Sickening.
Well, wait till you hear about Mario.exe.
Oh.
No, I'm playing. I don't know if that's a thing.
It probably is. There's an EXE for everybody. But Zach, you have to give your score for attractiveness.
Yeah, I would say he's an 8. And this is, I don't think, so I need to clarify something. I am not someone who is like a Sonic fucker. I didn't even play Sonic growing up.
Same.
But I think just the fact that he's a demon, he talks the way he does, he's like an asshole. But he's also so powerful. There's something attractive about power, I think.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. So I'm going to give him an 8 for the people.
For the people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If that's
Audacity?
1. Straight up just 1.
1. Yeah.
Is this more or less audacious than Slenderman?
More.
I guess it's more. Yeah, you're right.
This is God.
Slenderman's a passive killer.
Yeah. This guy wants to throttle you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like watch you kill childhood creatures.
Yeah.
Of your childhood.
Yeah.
1. I always want to. I even Evil Jesus Hedgehog. I would want to give a chance, but No.
If that's the case, parental approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents support if we brought Sonic.exe home? And I want Joe, look me in the fucking eyes when you give me your score.
I think we're already in deep shit because I'm showing my parents a USB drive, like a CD.
Okay.
So definitely not fantastic. I think I could pull off maybe 1 or 2 initial pretend FaceTimes with Evil Sonic. But then I think it's just going to have to be a 2. Why the fuck are you shaking your head?
That's still too high, but whatever. Pop off. Zach, what are you thinking?
He's very famous, or at least he looks like someone very famous, which is Sonic the
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
Mhm.
Sonic the Hedgehog. So, for example, if I brought Sonic the Hedgehog home, 10 easy.
Well loved.
Well loved.
Beloved figures, Sonic the Hedgehog and me are blowing each other's backs out. Mom,
He's
Dad,
your
you're
childhood friend.
perfect.
He's my childhood
Another
friend.
childhood friend. Bringing him home.
Yeah. Sonic.exe is not Sonic, so I'm willing to drop it to 5.
Okay.
Because I think
Nice.
I think maybe my parents wouldn't know the difference. They'd just be like, oh, he looks a
Yeah.
little
Little off
different.
there.
Does he,
Is he tired?
is he tired? Does he need a nap?
So
He needs to go to the dentist for sure, but don't let him know that I said
a
it.
lot of great points here, everybody. But there's one point that I would like to bring up, something that we was brought up earlier that I think we need to come back to is esokinesis, the reality warping.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So
Uh-huh.
it doesn't matter if my parents don't approve of Sonic.exe because that motherfucker will warp reality to get the approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what can we say but a 10 out of 10? Again,
Legendary.
What's your actual?
the funny
Uh-oh.
answer is 9 out of 10. The funny answer is 9 out of 10. The actual answer is probably 0.5. This is fucking Sonic, a demon,
Okay.
a devil. But I kind of want to see what happens with the funny answer.
No.
But no, 0.5. In reality, it's 0.5. This is
Our
not even-
incredibly empirical fucking scale.
We have Goomba in the top 3. No.
I know.
Fucking,
No, but everyone gets Goomba.
do they?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's my childhood friend.
He's your
So,
exact
like,
childhood
I
friend.
know exactly what makes him charming.
Go to the math. I'm done with this. Go to the math.
Okay, let's go to the math.
All right, just read off the scores. I'm done with this. To read off the scores.
Okay. So, Cleric, for Sonic.exe, you got a 4.9.
Okay.
I got a 4. Zach got a 6, which gives a happy medium, happy marriage of Sonic.exe having a 5.
This is straight 5.
And how we've done this is Sonic.exe is at least double the amount that No Face is. So let's really put that into perspective.
No.
Okay. So what's your shitty little decision creature?
Okay.
What did you?
All right, we're just gonna move past it. I want to say, Zach, great choice for today's episode. Wonderful.
Yes.
But number 2 is I don't like creepypastas. I said this at the top of the round. I've said this from the top of the choice. So
Yeah.
I've picked one that is just the one that I can talk about the most because other ones are just dudes. Other ones are just like weird pale monsters. Again, I'm not having 2 white people on the show. I'm talking about 2 pale people on the show in a row. And so I had to pick one that I don't know how I feel about it, and it's in a trauma that I don't even like, which is the killer clown Laughing Jack. In the late 1800s, a young boy closed his eyes and wished to have a friend, someone to play games with. As he opened his eyes, in front of him was a wind-up box. The boy began to crank it open, hearing Pop Goes the Weasel, and at the end, it revealed his new friend, Laughing Jack. Jack was a brightly colored clown who loved to play. They did many games together until the boy was sent off to boarding school. Jack then had to sit in his box waiting and waiting for his friend to return. Years passed, and then suddenly the boy returned, but he was much older and very different to Jack. The boy played different games with knives and blood. Jack could play those games too. Then one night the boy remembered the box and decided to open it one last time. Behind him, a monochrome, smiling Jack appeared, ready to play the boy's new game. Kill Crown!
Just
Yeah.
You know,
Just so you know what?
a relic of his experience, a relic of his time. You know, someone that was trying to express themselves and couldn't.
Sure. Okay, that is one way to look at that. But allow me to give some more details here. From the description is in the 1800s, like I said, there's this kid he found this wind up box. It was like one of those Pop Goes the Weasel boxes that Jack would come out. And Jack is like this big ass fucking clown. It was like rainbow colored, big smile. Two of them played games. It was clear early on that the boy had issues. Like the boy was like a fucking serial killer in disguise. And then one of their games was like him and Jack murdering a cat. The mom rightfully gets concerned and is like, dear God, what the fuck? And sends a kid off to boarding school. So then Jack is stuck in the box for years. The kid comes back once his parents died, but he is now a serial killer, basically.
Mhm.
And so while Jack can see anything that's outside, like can see what's happening outside the box, but someone is just to open it, the kid invites people to his home and starts like being a murderer. Like he does like all this like whole murder ritual. He like makes a skin out the chair. Like he does all this like all this in the 9 yards. So Jack still like being like, okay, this is the games that we're playing now. I can play that game too. So then one night the boy opened the like it fell on the ground and the boy like picked it up, was like, I completely forgot about this. Let me crank it open. And then Jack, who actually a factor of this that I forgot to mention is that Jack reflects the personality of the person that opens the box. So when the boy first opened the box, he was nice, happy, jovial. But now that he opened it when he was a serial killer, Jack reflects that. And he is now like monochrome colored. Like he has like his smile, like in black lipstick, like coming up to his face, like hair covering up his eyes, and like a very like sharp tooth smile. And so Jack murders the boy, or murders the kid now, and like does the worst thing, like takes his heart, crushes it, like takes his tongue, does the whole 9 yards and things. And so he's like, as the boy's dying, Jack's like, I gotta go be imaginary friends to other people now and play the game you taught me, teehee, and then fucks off into the world to be basically an it clown.
He's broken.
Can you fix him? Or is that what you're saying? Is that what you're about to imply?
No, I'm very scared, actually. This is probably the scariest one that we actually are talking about.
I just need to clarify. Did he, like, because he has the personality of who opens him up until he got opened by the serial killer. So from here on out, that's his thing. If you open him up again, that's his thing. He's not going to take on your personality.
No, he's like out of the box.
Yeah, he's out of the box.
He's out of the box.
Yes, because he killed the boy who can open and close the box. And so the box is now just forever open.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a good listener. That much we know.
This is someone that knows anniversaries, birthdays, important dates of presidential assassinations.
What was that last one?
A historical figure.
Yeah. I like it. Like you tell him something and he internalizes it.
Yeah, you know, the active listening is important, and he does do that. He's another gaslighter. In another story that Jack does is Jack shows up to this house and starts being like an imaginary friend to this kid, and the mom is just like, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? And Matt's like, Jack's helping me. He's like, well, is Jack giving you this candy that you're not supposed to have? Is Jack supposed to be doing this? Then it escalates to the point where the mom ends up being institutionalized because they think that she's doing the harm. But manages to get rid of Jack, but Jack slowly tortures her because she's in like institutionalized and is playing Pop Goes the Weasel through the walls just to keep fucking with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's vengeful, a little bit of a grudge bearer,
Yes.
and who isn't?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Also, so I mean, for positive and negatives, like Zach said, good listener.
Yeah.
Committed.
Playful, too.
Playful.
Is a clown, so not great.
Not inherently bad.
People
Let's
love
stay
Clussy.
playful together. Yeah, exactly. It's all the rage, actually.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe Clussy outranks everything here.
Clussy kind of rules, yeah.
You know what? You put on
The
fucking
one thing-
put on a little red nose and some little clown makeup, and I'm like, ooh,
Hong Kong.
ooh, animal.
Is that a euphemism?
It was. I also didn't appreciate the silence that followed. Everyone, please clap. Thank you.
God damn it. I don't remember what I was going to fucking say. Possibility wise, just to get into it a little bit. Well, okay, so he's not in the box anymore. So does he have legs?
Yeah, he walks around. He's a full on.
Oh, he walks.
Yeah, he's a full on
Okay.
6 foot tall fucking clown.
And Can he
6
teleport?
He's tall.
Yeah, he can teleport.
Yeah, he could just show up. He could do whatever the fuck he wants.
Because he made things like fly or like with his mind or whatever.
Yes.
This is an interesting character for me also, just because I'm a person that has constant nightmares. And regularly, I mean, everyone will hallucinate a little bit if they're like sleep deprived. So I don't need any nightmares to have any inkling of truth ever, or like be in my shadowy periphery. So this is probably a creepypasta. If I had read it, would have really fucking gotten me. And I wonder if Laughing Jack would take the time to get me.
Wow.
So I'd love to hear your sort of number, maybe, for possibility, Claire.
I'll give this a 6. A 6 to a 7. I would think a 7 because he shows up. He fucks with people.
I'll say 7. I will say 7.
Does he live in America?
He shows up where he shows up, I guess. Because, again, the 1800s immediately makes me think about Britain. So, who knows? Sorry, Britain, you're getting a lot of shit this episode. I apologize.
A lot of shit.
To no one.
Pop goes the weasel.
So, I think it's all over. I think Jack shows up everywhere.
I think my score for possibility would be a 6.
Okay, nice. Take it.
Yeah.
I don't see myself dealing with this.
Yeah, this is something like another person might deal. Like, but it's
This is not your childhood friend.
This is not my. He's somebody's childhood friend.
Somebody's.
That's the main thing about him. Not mine.
Yeah. Very core.
Attractiveness 2. 1. Well, Clissy goes hard.
He goes hard.
Zach, what are you thinking? How Clissy are you? Does Clissy have his grips on you?
How tight does the Clissy grip?
Yeah.
How tight does the Clissy grip me?
Yeah. How gripping is that Clissy?
It's gripping. Because the more I'm thinking about it, I might be giving Laughing Jack a pretty high score for attractiveness.
Because he's an active listener. He's somebody who wants to. He's probably going to be in this situation. He's a service top, or even like he's a switch who does a lot of service to let you know what you would like, because he wants to play games with you and lets you know.
He's less attractive than Sonic.exe to me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're coming hot off the sneakered heels of Sonic.exe.
The big teeth.
Yeah, I think he's probably around. I'm going to say 6 again.
Okay.
I'm going to say 6 for attractiveness. I don't think he's there, but he is a clown, so that's sexier.
If I could give a score below 1, I mean, I can, but I did give the Nothic a 1, but I don't think the Nothic is less attractive than Laughing Jack.
Don't go with previous scores. Go with what you want, what you are feeling in this scenario.
No, but I'm also trying to uphold myself to a relative consistency, unlike you.
I don't give a fuck about consistency. Fuck out of you.
I'm aware.
Who's gonna fight me?
We're gonna
on
go
our
2.
show? We're gonna
Anytime, all the time. That's the premise.
Sorry, who's listeners gonna be like, this isn't consistent? Claire can be like, call me out. I'm gonna go with a 4. I don't think this is that attractive. I'm not. Clissy is hot, but not which prevents it from being a 0.5 again. But
yeah.
I also find this kind of clown creepy, so it's a no from. It's gonna be
pretty scary.
As somebody who used to be part clown, I can relate.
What?
I've talked about this story several times. I grew up.
Do you have clown family?
Well, no, not that I have clown family. Well, actually, I do technically. I grew up in a scenario where I had to learn clowning skills in order to survive. And so I know how to make balloon animals. I used to dress up as a clown for kids events, face painting, doing like prop comedy, all that kind of stuff. I did and still know how to do, and puppeteering. I still do know how to do. So there is a clown in me somewhere, deep down.
Yeah, actually, now that you said that, can I change my answer?
Yeah, go for it. Fuck it.
7, because if he has all those skills, if he has if he can face paint. If he can puppeteer, he has a great laugh too. So I think
great laugh.
He's laughing.
His
Jack.
whole thing is that he laughs.
Yeah, he's laughing Jack. That's his whole thing.
Okay, yeah. Cass, I'm gonna give Laughing Jack a 3.
I'm glad that my personal experience can help influence
I honestly, here's the thing. I forgot what clowns do besides be silly in general.
Yeah.
I forgot the very specific skills of clowning, and you reminded me.
Wow.
The acrobatic acting.
Oh yeah, he's
theatrics.
flexible probably. So that's also. I'll actually bump mine up to a 5.
Hell yeah.
Audacity. How audacious it is to be.
Actually, can I just change it one more time? No, I'm kidding.
I will lose my mind. Audacity to fuck this clown. How audacious it is. It's pretty audacious. This is an imaginary friend. This is Foster's home for not good friends.
For no good, not very well friends.
Stuart Little is that. For those of you who don't get that reference, Stuart Little was an orphan, mouse orphan, and nobody wanted him for a long time. So that was the reference here. What was that part? Wait.
I'm gonna go 1. This is probably as audacious as you can get. Like, I almost want to give.
I'll give this a 0.5.
Maybe a 2, but
real. This is extremely audacious. This is a fucking clown in a wind-up box who's trying to murder you. And it's creepy and it's weird. Actually, no, I take it back. It's a 2. It's a 2. It's a 2.
It's not.
Sorry. There is certainly that period where he pretends to be your friend, and like that maybe seems like an opportunity, but then obviously he kills you and steals your soul and traps it in a playground.
He just eats you. He eats a cannibal.
What did I give Sonic?
A 1.
I don't think this is more audacious than Sonic.exe.
Oh, yeah.
The most audacious thing about Laughing Jack might be that he's British. So
we don't even know for sure.
We don't know for sure, but there's a huge possibility that he's British.
Yeah.
So
there's
I'm going
to
to
say a decent
say
population of people who are just secretly British.
Yeah. They could be anywhere. 3.
Even among us right now.
3. Among us. Parental acceptance.
No.
This is a 1.
1.
It may be worse to show up with like a big puppet, big, tall, ugly puppet. Then it might be worse to show up with Jack than Sonic. And Sonic is on a CD.
I don't even know where to begin with this, to be honest. I think
Do you want your child to have an anime waifu, or do you want your child to be dating a serial killer? You know?
Why were those put in the same level?
Sonic.
0.5. Sonic is not an anime waifu. I'm not fucking doing this with you. I'm not having this fucking debate. I'm not having this whole thing. We're not doing this. You're not baiting me. Freaking.
That's going to be the Spotify question.
Zach, leave us our last score of the episode. What are you thinking?
I think that parental approval is going to be 8.
8?
Interesting. Do your parents also love, as much as Sonic, they love puppets?
No, but here's the funny thing about being Filipino.
Okay.
There's weird ideas about like what's like who's good to marry into the family and everything. Let's say 7, right? Because if Laughing Jack is British, he's European, and for some reason, I think parents find that intriguing, and I think that's good enough. That's good enough.
Honestly,
that's not wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to up my score from 0.5 to just a straight 4 because again,
oh my god, guys!
The reason I'm saying that is because my family, like I said, clowning is in the blood, so there is some relatability there.
Clowning is in the blood, and
he's got a great laugh that wins over the hearts of parents.
Money does.
Sorry,
but we're gonna go on to the math.
I got another sneeze coming on, so Joe, take it away.
Okay, I'm taking away the podcast and all the effort that Cleric has put into this podcast, and also I'm taking Kessin, Ribby, and Gwen with me.
No, that's not what I meant.
Cleric, for Laughing Jack, overall a 4.5, and for me a 3.3. Sorry, Jack. And Zach, we have yet another 6, which leaves Laughing Jack a pretty decent 4.6 between the three of us.
All right, okay, that's reasonable. If it's a clown, I don't think it would be high besides Clussy. But speaking of Clussy, why don't we get an overall score for this episode here? Our creepypasta tier list.
So, our loser for today is unfortunately Laughing Jack. Actually, not unfortunately. Fuck you. With a 4.6. Sonic.exe with a straight 5. Very solid, all things considering. And Slenderman It is my win this evening, for it is a 5.6.
Are you winning though? Because you could have been with Mr. Clean.
No. Mr. Clean is not a monster.
To some, to germs. Anyways, first I want to say, Zach, as we come to the end of this episode, Zach, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I know it's a very chaotic time to be here, so every time a guest comes, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Tell the people who you are. Let them know.
I am a TTRPG actual play performer. I think by the time this episode comes out, I will not be in anything, but likely in things upcoming. So find me on Twitter at Zachdevs, Zachdevs.
Wonderful. Thank you. You already know where to find us on other things. Spotify, Ko-fi. Please leave us reviews, leave us other things. Follow us on Twitter. You know, the whole 9 yards, TikTok. But Joe, Zach, any closing thoughts?
Among Us.
Among Us? Among Us?
Gotta go fast.
Chili dogs, gotta go fast. All right, let's fast and get out of here and say bye.
Please don't forget me by my name, even if it's all a game. Your words will remain when you said that I was your ambition. I don't know reality or fiction, no.
Childhood friend Slenderman, Sonic.exe, and Goomba. My childhood friends.
Goomba.
Goomba.